The term global warming is a load of bollocks. Excuse the expression. It doesn't exist. Okay, global warming was a term that was coined in the late 70s, became popular in the early 80s, and then somebody realized it was a misnomer. A misnomer. It's an untrue name. It's misguiding. Unfortunately, even now in the 21st century, 2010, people are still talking about global warming as though it's a fact or it's not a fact. Why are you arguing about it? Nobody in the scientific world is talking about global warming. They are talking about climate change. Drastic climate change. Look into climate change. Climate change does not mean that the world is getting hotter or colder. It means that the system that we have lived in relatively calmly, with ups and downs, it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets cold, it gets hot, is going into some kind of extreme change. The weather on this planet is controlled by complicated systems. We have the North and the South Pole, which are both cold areas. We have the equator, which basically is spinning around facing at the sun, which is a warm area. Where you get a hot and cold interaction, you get heat exchanges, which causes the system, the weather system, the weather patterns, the water that flows around the world. It's a rather complicated system, and changes in local environments will cause greater changes. The butterfly theory, as they call it, and it's not literally if a butterfly flaps its wings at the equator it will cause a hurricane here. What it means is small effects added together will cause greater effects. If you think of vortices theory, you have circular movement here and a circular movement here. If they're equal, they will cancel each other out. Two circular movements of air going this way will join together and they will expand. The whole argument's a lot more complicated. It's the media that makes it simplistic, and they do it deliberately, because when it's simplistic, it's confusing. When it's confusing, it's controversial, and the controversial aspects get the viewers. People like things that are controversial and simplistic, so they can say yes it is, no it isn't, and that's their argument. People don't like looking into all the small details, seeing all the dots, joining things together, taking the time to study or to think deeply about an argument. Most people would rather just switch on the television, watch a cartoon about Batman and discuss whether Robin is gay or not. Please. One of the major problems of humanity is that behavior. There are the facts that governments, industries, corporate, consumerism, everything else is driving us in one direction, but they would have much less power of doing it if people weren't so naive. So wake up.